Hello, people. I always forget that the computer is backwards. I'm on my computer on the porch, and it's like this is my right arm. It looks like my left. I wonder if I can actually flip this camera around. I bet I can't. Yeah, no. We'll figure it out later. So I'm going to wait for a couple of people to join here. I won't wait too long because I gave you some warning that I was coming live. Chloe and Mama are outside. Let's see if you can see her down there. Let's see. Well, she's in the sunshine, but there she is. Good girl. Sorry about my prego belly. Feeling large and in charge these days, you guys. Let's see who's here. Good morning. Good morning. I hope I can see the comments today because let me see if I pull it up on my phone. Hi. Good morning. Okay, cool. Hi, Chrissy. Yep, I definitely have a baby belly. And I'll tell you, as soon as I eat anything, like anything, I could eat like a string cheese. And it's like, I mean, I eat anything. It's massive. It's ridiculous. Okay, good. I can see comments. Hi, Amanda. Good morning. I'm so excited about coffee and talkie today. So I am drinking coffee, sort of. So I still can't handle hot. I cannot handle a cup of hot coffee. Can't do it at all. The thought of it is still really gross. I think the issue is I really like strong, roasty, dark, thick, like black coffee. And I can't do anything like smoky or roasty right now. Like, I'm not sure what the deal is with that. And I'm also not sure why my hat keeps looking crooked. I think it's my face. I can't handle anything like smoky or roasty right now. It's so bizarre. I can't handle like barbecue or smoked meats or so coffee is difficult because it has like a roasty, smoky smell to it. So I can't do a cup of hot coffee. I have been wanting iced coffee, but then I really have to be careful with caffeine. So I've had no caffeine for like since I got pregnant. And then last week, so I didn't want to have any during the first trimester because I don't know if you know my history, but I had a miscarriage in January, and I really was just trying to do everything I could to avoid that as much as possible. And caffeine is linked to miscarriages. So I had no caffeine through my whole first trimester. Well, I finally made it into the second trimester last week, and I was like, I think I'm going to have an iced coffee because I felt like iced coffee and decaf iced coffee is gross, and also nobody really makes it. So I had an iced coffee. You guys, I had so much energy. I had so much energy, and I was so like focused. And I got so much done for like 5 hours after I drank the iced coffee. And I got like a small. I didn't even get a big one. I got a small iced coffee because, again, I'm trying to like limit caffeine intake. And I had so much energy and focus, and like it was awesome. It was so good. So I've been able to do like hot lattes once in a while. They're a little bit weaker, and but they have to be weak and they have to be like flavored, which is normally not my jam. I don't really like flavored coffees or flavored stuff. So I'm having a decaf iced Americano. An Americano is basically iced coffee. It's espresso with water. And so it's like the same strength as coffee. And so I'm having a decaf iced Americano, and it's okay, but it's like I can definitely get the smoky, roasty espresso-ness. Okay, some people are finally starting to join us. Yay! Shout yourself out if you're here so I can say hello. Good morning. I don't know if Jenny Knezvich is on, but this is my cool new Wyoming cup from Jenny. Thank you. And Hard work, heart, and hustle from all you guys. I know you guys are so sweet to me. Thank you. Who's here this morning? Say something in the comments, yo. Don't be scared. Hi, Sydney. Good morning. These comments are being so rude, like I have to move them up to see them. They're not just populating, which is stupid. Krista, look what I'm drinking out of today. My new Wyoming cup. Okay, so I feel like so many people wanted to learn about this topic, but a lot of people are working, obviously, right now. So let's get rolling, because I don't want the people who are watching the replay to like skip, have to watch 10 minutes of me talking about my life, pregnancy, and coffee. Nobody cares. Anyway, say hey in the comments. There we are. Hope you love that cup. I sure do. Hi, Amanda. Amber, thank you. Good morning. Hi, Jen. LPP's in the house. What's up? We find out, we have our anatomy scan on November 6th. So we find out our gender November 6th as well. So we're not going to keep it a secret. I think we're going to do a fun little, like, pop a balloon or something cute. My friend Melissa, star director Melissa Simmons, she's got it under control. I don't know. She's handling it. All I know is it goes in an envelope and she gets it, and then we'll pop a balloon or something cute. I was going to do a fun gender reveal party, but we have, long story short, it would have had to have been like 2 weeks later. And I'm like, I don't want to wait 2 weeks after having our anatomy scan to like find out what the gender of our baby is. So it'll be fun. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about, so if you missed it, yesterday I did a poll and just basically asked, hey, I'm working on some coffee and talkie topics for the next several months, and what are some things you guys want to know about? And the overwhelming majority, which really kind of shocked me, the overwhelming majority of people who answered requested that it be about basically how to work, run, build your business while having kids, littles, or a full-time job, or both, or be in school, or whatever. How do you work a business? How do you build a business while having a lot of other things in your life that are really important? And Savannah had commented with a very real struggle that I think a lot of people identify with. And it's just like, gosh, I'm overwhelmed. How do I manage all of this at the same time? How do I build my business? Because I love my business. My business is important. I want it to grow. I know what it can be. How do I build that? But also, like, I'm married, or I have a significant other, or I have kids, or I have a full-time job, and that pays my bills. Or I'm going to school, or someone in my life is very sick. There are a lot of other things in our lives that pull us in so many different directions. And it is super hard if you don't have the right tools. It can be really difficult to manage it all. So I wrote down some things that I'm going to share with you, some different tips about basically how to help you manage it all. But I wanna preface it by giving you a few sort of overarching principles. And the first one is, when you're building a business, when you're running a business, when you're working a business, especially if you're trying to grow a business where you want it to be major income, okay, or you want to be a director, or you want to earn a trip, or you want to leave your job, or retire your spouse, or you want to send your kid to whatever kind of school because you know that life-changing income is possible, right? So if you're trying to build a business for any of those reasons, I'm just going to burst your bubble right now and tell you that you have to make some sacrifices in your life. In order to build a great business, there is a cost to being your own boss, okay? And there is a price to being a business owner. Now, in my opinion, the cost of being a business owner and being my own boss far outweighs the burden of working for someone else, of having someone else tell me what to do, of having to clock into a 9 to 5, of having to say no, right, to things that I really want or want to do in my life. The cost of being a business owner, the cost of working for myself, in my opinion, far outweighs what it really costs, even though it seems like it's easier to work for someone else and just go clock in 9 to 5 and receive a check at the end of the week. It seems like it might be easier, but you know what? It's so limiting. If I had to work a 9 to 5 when I wasn't feeling great my first trimester and I was depressed, like I would have still had to go to work. I would have still had to go and clock in. I would have still had to go answer to someone else. I would have still had to go be productive, in whatever way, in whatever capacity. Building a business, running a business, owning a business, and in case you don't know, you own a business. That's what you are. You are a business owner. When you join Scentsy for $99, Scentsy's not your employer. Your sponsor's not your manager. I'm not your boss. None of these things are true. You are a business owner. So basically, you're paying Scentsy $99 for pretty much the rights to like Scentsy logos and Scentsy products and Scentsy marketing and all that kind of stuff. You're paying Scentsy $99 for all the training, for all of the access to their products, things like that. But you're basically opening a franchise for $99 and you're owning this business, okay? Owning a business takes a lot of sacrifice. A lot of sacrifice. So before I tell you any of these 10 things, I need you to hear me with that. It takes a lot of sacrifice, but what you have to decide is, are these sacrifices worth the freedom that can come from this business? Are these sacrifices worth working from home, being my own boss, not having to answer to anyone? My husband was off on Monday, so what did I do? I took the day off because I can. If I had a job where I worked 9 to 5 and he was off, you know what he'd be doing? Because my husband is the kind of guy, when he's off, he likes to spend time with me. We're each other's best friend. We always have been, and as long as we've been married. And when he's off from work, it's like he doesn't know what to do alone, right? He likes to be with me. He likes to be spending time with me. So on Monday, he was off from work. Because I'm a business owner, because I've worked hard, because I've built this business, because I've made sacrifices and continue to make sacrifices, I was able to take that whole day off and spend it with him on the fly, right? I had no idea he was going to be off on Monday. And our communication about schedules isn't great. So I don't always know when he's going to be off, and something like today, he's getting off at 3 or 4 o'clock today, and I didn't know until this morning, So if I didn't build this business, if I didn't have this, if I wasn't my own boss and if I hadn't have made and continue to make all the sacrifices over the years, I wouldn't have been able to take that day off. We wouldn't be able to have rental properties. We have 2 rental properties on top of owning our home here in Ohio. We have 2 rental properties. We wouldn't be able to have that extra stream of income. We wouldn't be able to take a free weekend whenever we feel like it, take a weekend away. We had to go stroller shopping the other day because we're having a baby. And so we went just trying to do some research on strollers. My husband was so picky, and he went in with his mindset on what he wanted. And look, I nannied for years. I know you don't need top-of-the-line strollers. You just need to keep the kid alive, And so, but my husband, he is buying this super expensive stroller because he feels like this is what's best for our child. This is what's most safe. This is was going to protect them well. Like, he was all about, I mean, seriously, he's all about like vibrations. I mean, he's really, really, he's going to be a great dad. But he's buying this ridiculously expensive stroller because he feels like this is what's best for our child, right? We wouldn't have that freedom if I didn't have this job, if I didn't have the income from this business, if I hadn't have made those sacrifices all the time, okay? We wouldn't have been able to, do renovations on our house, pay for our dog's surgery. She had a $5,000 surgery this summer. These are all things that far outweigh the cost of the sacrifices that I've had to make for my business. Okay? So get that in your head and understand that. Number one, you are a business owner. Number two, in order to build a business, it does require sacrifice. It requires sacrifice. Sacrifice looks different for every person, and in every phase of life, you have to choose and decide what things you're willing to sacrifice. Is it time? Is it money? Is it, like being present with your family? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because you have to understand that sacrifices lead to a really great business and income and freedom that can change your life so that you don't have to make those same types of sacrifices forever. So I am currently 33 years old. I believe that my husband and I will be retired by 45. Retired. So we're making sacrifices now, right? So that we can live the rest of our lives doing whatever the hell we want to do. My parents are in their late 50s, maybe 60s. They'll never be able to stop working. Never. Never. They will never be able to stop working because they don't have savings. They didn't make sacrifices. They lived paycheck to paycheck. They struggled their whole entire lives. And I know people that will never be able to stop working, or that will have to work until they're 70, and they'll never be able to really enjoy their life. I'm making sacrifices now so that later on, and listen, I don't even feel like I live a bad life right now. We live well below our means on purpose. We're not spendy people. We don't do that kind of stuff. But we're making sacrifices now with time, energy, things like that, so that later on we can do whatever we want to do. We're planning for the future well. And in my opinion, that's the most beautiful benefit to this business, is planning for your future. Okay, so that's number one. It's going to require sacrifices, and you just have to get that through your head. You just have to understand it. If you want to build a successful business that makes you money, it's going to require sacrifices. That's simple. The second thing is you have to cut yourself some slack. Okay? Wonder Woman is not a thing. Although, don't get me wrong, I love Wonder Woman. She's a badass. I would love to have her physique, talent, and skills. But let me tell you something. Wonder Woman is not a thing. You cannot be perfect at everything. And you will never have perfect children with beautiful matching family portraits every year, and your house doesn't have to always be sparkling, and you don't always have to make sure that you get in that family vacation, or and you don't have to stop putting so much pressure on yourself. You have to cut yourself some slack, because here's the thing. When you're building a business, and honestly in life in general, right? Let's take Scentsy out of it completely. Here are things we have going on outside of Scentsy, right? Like cleaning and maintaining a home. That sucks balls already, right? There's so much to that. If you have pets, they require time, energy, money. Children, they're like your whole life, all the time. If you're married or you have a spouse, they require emotional energy, physical energy, servitude, which means you don't get to do what you want. You have to do what they want. You got to put down your own desires for the betterment of another person. And very, very real talk, you have to be sexually available for your spouse. Okay? And some of you guys are like, whoa, she's going there. Yeah, I'm going there because it's real. It's really real. Outside of Scentsy, Those are like, you got all those things. Maybe you got school. Maybe you're trying to earn a degree. Maybe you're trying to reach a financial goal. Maybe you have a demanding job. I know we got a lot of teachers in here. Teachers, you guys aren't done at 3 o'clock. You guys work all day long. Okay? Maybe you have a kind of job that comes home with you. You don't have a choice. Maybe you're fixing up your house, working on your, and then don't even like get me started on working on your physical body, trying to eat well, drink enough water, get to the gym, like do your hair and your makeup, make sure you just get showered and like shave your legs at least once a week. Hey, listen, outside of Scentsy, there's a lot of stuff going on in your life. And then what about like your extended family, like parents, or you got sick people to take care of? And then what about your faith and your spiritual condition? And if that's not in good shape, then you're feeling guilty about that. Listen, there's a lot of stuff in our life that freaking messes with you, right? Wonder Woman ain't a thing. You're not Wonder Woman. She's not real. She's a fictional character. You're not Wonder Woman. Some things have to go. Don't feel like you have to be perfect at everything. Don't feel like you have to be the best at everything. I'm not a super competitive person. I'm really not. But there are a few areas in my life where I'm kind of competitive, but I had to learn, like, I don't have to be number one all the time. I don't have to be, I don't have to beat these other people all the time. Like, I can just be the best. I can just be the best me, right? I can beat myself, like beat my own best self. There are a lot of things in our lives that pull at us, and we didn't even start with Scentsy. Like, those are just things in our lives, right? And then what if you're trying to like maintain your landscaping at your home, or like make improvements? God forbid you're trying to sell your house or move, or maybe you're trying to get out of an apartment and into a home. Like, man, there's a lot. It's a lot. And when we put it all together, and when we obsess over all of it, all that happens is we get overwhelmed, freaked out, most likely depressed. We put these unrealistic expectations on ourselves, and guilt sets in. Guilt is terrible, right? But typically, guilt is driven by our own selves and our own mind and our own brain. It's not driven by outside sources. A lot of times, guilt comes from our own expectations, or what we think we really should be, or who we should be, or how we should act or live, or whatever. Let me tell you something. Keeping up with the Joneses is not important. It's not important. I like having a clean home. I like having a home, like, I know for me, clutter causes me anxiety, so that's something that has to be important, like not a lot of clutter in my home. But you know what? There are some, like, there are cobwebs in the corners sometimes, and there's dust on my ceiling fan. It's going to be fine, right? I'm going to survive. So are you. Don't obsess over it. Sometimes there's dirty dishes in my sink. It happens. Sometimes they're there all day and I get them in the dishwasher at night. Sometimes I load my dishwasher for several days and it's really smelly and gross. Sometimes I clean out my fridge and there's mold on the salsa. It's fine. It's fine. You have to learn to let some things go. Because these pressures that we put on ourselves, they are what's killing you. They are what's drowning you. They are what's making you feel overwhelmed. The pressure that we put on ourselves to perform, to be like someone else, and a lot of times, you guys, I'm gonna be real talk for a second. A lot of times we wear masks, and we're not our true self because we feel like we have to be this person, or we have to be someone else, or we have to be demure, or we have to be kind, or I'm not saying don't be kind, but we have to be nice, or whatever, right? So we put on these masks, and it's exhausting being someone that you're not really fully, truly. It's exhausting. You've got to decide who you are at the core, what's important to you, and you've got to decide every day to be that person. Yes, please, feed your kids cereal sometimes. Let them eat cookies. They're going to survive. They're going to survive. Do you know that I eat things like Dinty Moore beef stew and Chef Boyardee ravioli and ice cream every night of my life? Now, I will say as an adult, there are like physical things with my body that I don't love, and they stem from bad habits. But you know what? If your kid has to eat cereal for dinner one night because you can't cook a 3-course paleo meal, it's going to be fine. If you have to go out to eat instead of cooking dinner, do it. If you have to order pizza or get HelloFresh instead of shopping at Whole Foods, do it. If you have to shop at Walmart and buy the Great Value brand instead of organic, free-range, meatless eggs, everything is going to be fine. You've got to cut yourself some slack. You've got to realize what's really important in life. And so often, your need to perform or live up to this expectation is literally just to impress other people. Just so other people can look at you and be like, she's a good mom. Or she's a good wife. Or she always looks so put together. Her makeup is always on point. And you gotta ask yourself, is that my motive behind all the things I'm doing? Is that really my motive? What's my motive in my Scentsy business? What's my motive in my Scentsy business? Why am I posting this in my team page? Is it so my team can say, she's a good director? Is it so I can check this box off that like, okay, here's what a good director looks like, and it's all these boxes and I can just check off those boxes? Is that your motive? When you run your business and live your life like that, all that happens is you get exhausted, you get burnt out, you get tired, you get overwhelmed. And then when we feel all of those things, most people don't recover, they just quit. Most people don't rehabilitate, recover, seek out help, they just quit. Because it's easier. There's a saying, growing a business is hard, having no money is hard. Pick your hard. Pick your hard. Life is hard. Life is hard. It's going to be hard forever. It's never going to be easy. The stars will never align. Your house will never be spotless and every ounce of laundry done and your yard perfectly manicured and your nails are done and your hair is done and you have makeup on and you're showered and your children are angels. That will never happen. So cut yourself some slack and just understand right now that that's not how it goes. That's not reality. It's not life. You are not Wonder Woman. She is a fictional character. Cut yourself some slack and also understand it's okay for some things to go. It's okay to not be perfect at every single thing. It's okay. Cut yourself some slack. So I'm going to help you with some practical things on how to run a business and build a business while having kids or a full-time job or whatever. But I need you to understand those two things. Number one, it's always going to take sacrifice. Building a business is going to take sacrifice no matter what. You have to decide what you want to sacrifice, whether it's time, money, energy, where you live, okay? Friends. Number two, you have to cut yourself some slack. You're not Wonder Woman. Perfection is not reality. Perfection is stupid. And you have to decide what things you're willing to let go. Because some things got to give. Okay? Those are two overarching principles I want you to understand. Really super important that you have that foundation before you hear any of these things. So my first tip, spend your time, your Scentsy business time, doing only IPAs. IPAs are income producing activities, okay? What this means is, if it doesn't make you money, you don't do it. Hear me very clearly. If it doesn't make you money, you do not do it. Listen, this is a business, this is a job. If it doesn't make you money, you do not do it. You spend your business time, your working time, your Scentsy time doing only income producing activities. They are very basic, very, very basic. Income producing activities are simply these: actually selling products. You can do that at events, parties, basket parties, whatever. Partying, okay? Partying is an income producing activity. Booking is an income producing activity. Follow-up, income producing activity, directly affects your income. And recruiting. That's it. Booking, partying, selling, follow-up, and recruiting. Your business time should be spent doing that. That's it. It shouldn't be spent on Pinterest. Shouldn't be spent on Facebook. It shouldn't be spent talking to other Scentsy consultants or other leaders. I'm sorry, that's not working. That's not business time. That's having a conversation. That's having a friend. Training is really important, but it's not an income producing activity. Okay? I'm going to tell you something right now. Stop making samples. Stop it. Samples are the biggest waste of time. It is such a time waster. Instead of making samples, you could be doing follow-up, you could be booking parties, you could be having recruiting conversations. Samples is such a time suck. It's not even funny. And honestly, a lot of times making samples doesn't produce money for you like a simple follow-up would, okay? I do not make samples anymore. I don't do it. Here's what I do. I buy these Scentsy body samples. They're pretty cheap. They come already made from Scentsy. I stick my label on the back. So they come in Lucky and Love, and they come in pineapple, coconut, vanilla. When you get a pack of these, I want to say it's $5, and you get like 20 or 25 samples. So a $6 bar of wax, you're getting 20 or 25 samples, and you have to chop it up, melt it, pour it into a mold, put it in a bag, put a label on it, put a business card with it, hope it doesn't melt somewhere. Buy these. They're already done. This is how to save you time, energy, and money. These are flat. They mail really easy. People don't need another wax sample. They know we have wax. It's fine. They know we have wax. They need samples of products that they've never tried before. This will save you time, money, energy. Making samples is not an income producing activity. Stop doing it. It might be fun for you. You'd be like, oh, my customers love it. Guess what? They're going to love these lotion, shower gel, body souffle samples too. They'll be fine. You need to transition your customers away from wax samples because it's sucking your time and dividing your brain. So when we're talking about running a business while having other priorities in your life, your business time needs to be very intentional and focused. Things that you do for your business, that time needs to be short, it needs to be fast, it needs to be focused, it needs to be driven, it needs to be intentional. And making samples, I'm telling you, it's a time suck. Don't do it. Buy the samples already made from Scentsy. If they want to smell the new scents, these are my favorite thing. Scratch and sniff stickers, rub and smell stickers, whatever. Okay? These come in the Scent and Warmer of the Month kit. You can slap it onto a catalog, slap it onto a flyer. Boom, I can smell butter pecan. It smells like freaking toasted deliciousness. It's so good. It's like ice cream, toasted ice cream. Buy stickers in the Scent and Warmer of the Month kit. You can buy it in the Scentsy Family store. They come in all the classic fragrances. You can slap them into the catalog. Boom. You can slap it on a monthly special flyer. If they want to smell the new scent, you put this on the flyer, you pop it in the mail. Done. Income producing activity. Do not spend your time making samples. Sample. That's it. That's it. On a rare occasion, I'll take a scoop of washer whiffs and toss them into a bag for a customer. That's for a VIP only. That's it. These are flat. These are flat. They're already done for you. You don't have to do anything. This is how you work smarter, not harder. Do not spend your time making samples. Only spend your time doing income producing activities. So every time you go to do something, you have to ask yourself, does this make me money? And if the answer is no, then you don't do it during your business time. Okay? My next thing, because your business time needs to be intentional and focused, you really, really need to limit your social media time. Limit your social media time. Some suggestions I have for this. Delete the Facebook app from your phone. Do it where you're only looking at it on an iPad, on a computer. I like this for a few reasons. Number one, notifications can drive you bananas. Number two, Facebook is distracting. Okay? We use Facebook a lot for our business. We use social media a lot for our businesses. I understand that's the culture we live in. However, very few people log into Facebook, open up their Facebook app, and only work their business and then leave. We're doing other things like scrolling, looking at other people's crap, whatever in groups. Mindless scrolling. Sometimes you catch yourself doing it for 30, 45 minutes. Imagine all the income producing activities you could have done in 30 or 45 minutes. Like I said, training is really important, but it's not an income producing activity. You don't need to be spending 30, 45 minutes a day sitting in a chair watching a training. You know what to do. You know how to build your business. You know, it's very simple. It's the things I said: booking, partying, selling, follow-up, recruiting. That's it. That's how you build your business. If it's not one of those things, it's not an income producing activity, and you can save it for another time. Amanda Aiden said, I feel like a big failure because I'm not creative at creating my own whiff boxes. This is where number one was the overarching principle we talked about. You're going to cut yourself some slack. Okay, you're not Wonder Woman. Number two, guess what? I'm an SSD and I don't do whiff boxes. I don't make them. I'm not creative. It's not income producing for me. It's not a good time. It's not a good return on investment for my time. I don't do them. Now, there are consultants who do them and make really great money. That's fine. Good for you. Some people have, I know Andrea Keene and Ikela Francis, like they get hundreds and hundreds of PRV from their whiff boxes every month, which is fine. For me, it's not a good return on my investment. I don't do it. Cut yourself some slack. Some things have to go. Gina said, don't do whiff boxes unless it's true to you. I love them but hate events. See, I love events but hate whiff boxes. I do events. It's income producing for me. Okay. If you're going to be on social media, set a timer. Set a timer for like 15 or 30 minutes. And then you know that after that 15 minutes is up, you have to be off of it. So that means when you're on social media, you have to be doing things like when you're doing your work time, you need to only be like in your VIP group, posting something on your personal page, follow up via Messenger, and like that's it. That's all you do. You don't scroll other crap. You don't look at other people's stuff. Also, let me give you this tip. Social media is often the source of your need for perfection. Social media is often the source of the pressures that you feel to perform or live up to a standard because you're looking at someone else's life. You're looking at their highlight reel, not their everyday struggles. You're looking at their highlight reel. You're looking at the good stuff and thinking like, gosh, I gotta be like that. Gosh, I gotta do that. You're in these other Facebook groups that have thousands of Scentsy consultants in them and you see them do this crap. And you're like, gosh, I gotta do that. No, you don't. Leave the groups. Limit your time on social media. The only thing you need is Radiant Rockstars, the training center, and the Scentsy workstation. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. I cannot stress this to you enough how important it is to leave the other groups. Leave the groups. If you're a director or above, you need this group, you need your own group, and then we have a director page that's for directors. That's all you need. That's it. You don't need anything else. Oftentimes, being on social media, being in groups, seeing other people, it makes you feel like you need to do more. And in fact, I want to encourage you to do less. We're doing all these things that don't actually make us money. We're spending all this time designing some stupid flyer. We're spending all this time looking on Pinterest for business ideas, but then you're actually looking at workouts and recipes and outfits and Halloween costumes, you're not actually working. Working is very simple, the 5 things: booking, partying, selling, follow-up, recruiting. That's it. And then if you're a director or a leader above, there's a team leadership aspect of it that is an income-producing activity, and that's important. But even still, as a director or a team leader, booking, partying, selling, follow-up, and recruiting, those things still come first before you do any team stuff. So you guys know I'm a superstar director. There are 1,300 plus radiant rock stars. But before I can do anything for any of you, I've got to run my own business first. I got to take care of my customers. I got to party. I got to book. I got to recruit. I got to sell. I got to go to events. I got to do all these things before I even help any of you. You're a business owner. Your business comes first. My next tip, have a set day off every single week. Have a set day off every single week. My set day is Sunday. The reason it's Sunday is because we go to church every Sunday. My husband is always off on Sundays, and so I know that I can have that time together with him. It's a set day off. You'll notice I really don't post in Radiant Rockstars. I might come and say like, hey, today's a rest day, or hey, make sure you're planning for this week. But I also really don't go on social media on my day off. I don't read, I don't open messages, I don't respond, I almost don't respond to text messages. It's my day off. And your day off should look very similar. I would encourage your day off to be literally social media free. Your set day off every single week should be a social media free day. Spend it with your family. Maybe your day off is Tuesday, maybe it's Saturday. It's different for every person. My set day off every week is Sunday. If I have an event, that's different, but it's Sunday. It's Sunday. We eat dinner together. We go to church together. We usually do something fun. We spend time just together, like just sometimes just sitting on the couch, being together, hanging out, watching TV. Like it's our day to refresh, recharge, reset. And I'm telling you guys, it's like the key to sanity, having a set day off every single week. You have to decide what that looks like for you and your family. I also do take other time off during the week, but it changes like throughout the week. But I have a set day off every single week. My next tip is you have to prioritize things in your life and understand that Scentsy is a job. It is very, very easy to become obsessed with Scentsy. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it. It's very, very easy to become obsessed with this business. Often spurred by social media. I'm serious. Often spurred by the groups we're in and crap like that. It's very easy to become obsessed with it. But it has to be lower in your life priority than your faith. That should be number 1. Your relationship with God. Number 2 would be your spouse or significant other. Number 3 would be your job. Okay, what pays your bills and contributes to your family. For me, that is also Scentsy, so Scentsy is number 3. And then other things come after that. You have to prioritize and decide that Scentsy is a job, and you have to treat it like a job. It has to come in priority level like your job does. Is your family more important than your job? Hell yes. Is your health more important than your job? Yeah. Is your faith more important than your job? Yeah. All of those things are more important than your job. It's so easy to become obsessed with Scentsy, and it's so easy to like work 24/7, but you have to discipline yourself. I'm telling you, often the source of frustration, being overwhelmed, being tired, exhausted, run down, often the source of that is a lack of discipline in our own selves. It's often ourselves. It's putting pressure on ourselves. It's not choosing to put the phone away. It's not choosing to say that can wait till tomorrow. Your business is important, and especially if you want to build it to a point where it's life-changing income, it's going to require sacrifices, okay? I have sacrificed time with my family over the years. And I do that by like coming and traveling to see you. I spent 2 weeks out on the road last year, or this year, coming on a world tour. I go to Scentsy family reunion every year by myself without my husband. I take an incentive trip. I can never travel for Thanksgiving or see any of my family because I have a super large event. This summer, I spent literally 6 entire weeks away from my husband because I was working events. These are sacrifices that we've decided to make for our family. But I show my husband and my family that they are important in other ways. Like Sunday is our day. I don't work on Sunday. I don't do it. Okay? I go to church every Sunday because my faith is important to me. The next thing is you need to have passions outside of Scentsy. It's so important to have interests, passions, and friends who are outside of Scentsy. The longer you're in Scentsy and the more friends you have, and once you earn incentive trips and become a director, you sometimes reach a point in your life where every person that you know or every person that you're friends with is like a Scentsy person. So you need to make sure that you have passions outside of Scentsy. So whether that's fitness, cooking, knitting, maybe you're artsy, maybe you like to garden, maybe you like to create things, like maybe you're creative. Maybe you like to sing karaoke. There are so many things that you could do outside of, maybe you like to volunteer. You need to have passions outside of Scentsy, and you have to make sure that you fan the flames of those passions so that you don't grow to resent your business. The next thing is you need to show your spouse or your significant other that they are number one. Next to your faith, you need to show them that they're number one in your life. You do this by spending quality time with them. So it depends on what your spouse or significant other's love language is. My husband's is quality time, hands down. So when he's home, he wants me to be with him fully, not working, not on the phone. He understands if I have a conference call or I have a training or I have a party or whatever, but like he wants me to be with him. That's his love language. So it took me many years in our marriage to realize that like showing him that he's important to me is literally as simple as putting my phone down and just being with him. Maybe your spouse's love language is physical touch. If that's the case, you need to make sex a priority. It has to be a priority. That's how you show your spouse or your significant other that they're number one. You must do this because if you don't, and please hear me clearly, I've seen it in my own marriage and business. I've seen it in countless marriages and businesses before. Your husband, your spouse, significant other can grow to resent your Scentsy business because it's pulling you away from them. Maybe it's acts of service. So maybe you need to make them dinner, hang up their clothes, mow the lawn for them, whatever. Make your spouse number one. Align your schedules, like that goes back to my set day off every week. We've aligned our schedules so that we know we have Sundays together every single week. It's our day. What I talked about earlier, you have to make sacrifices. Some of those sacrifices might be time with your family, like I've expressed this year, time with my family that I've sacrificed. Sometimes it's going out. Sometimes it's going out with friends. Instead of going out with friends, I work, right? Or instead of going to the pumpkin patch and like having a fun fall day, whatever, I'm like have a booth at the pumpkin patch. You have to make sacrifices. Like I don't get to watch all the Netflix I want to watch because that's like the biggest waste of time in the world. Rest is so important, but like Netflix is such a waste of time. Maybe you sacrifice sleep. Gina, I love that. Gina Simpson said dinner time is our time every night. That's so great. Like that's her daily way to prove to her spouse that like, hey, and her child that, hey, you guys are number one. This is dinner time. I'm with you. I don't have my phone. Like we're eating dinner together. And not every family does that. Like everyone's different. We eat dinner on the couch. We're just not like a sit down at dinner table kind of people. But Sundays are our day together. So it looks different for every person, don't feel like you have to look just like me or like Gina or whatever, but do something, find their love language and do things that support that love language and make them feel like they're your number one. Make sacrifices. Do you guys another example of someone I want to use? Like she is so good about, and this is my next tip. It's called Power Hour, but she says every day she goes. So she's a teacher. She goes to work. She does all her things. They have dinner time together. Bedtime routines, especially all of you with littles. Sometimes bedtime routines can be hours long. She puts her kid to bed, and then after he's asleep, she takes an hour to work her business. You know what she could do? She could Netflix with a glass of wine and some popcorn. She could lay on the couch. She could catch some extra Z's, and wouldn't everybody love an extra hour of sleep? But she spends this power hour working her business. So what a power hour is it's a focused, intentional hour of time where you do income producing activities for your business. Because guess what, guys? You don't have to work 8 hours a day with Scentsy. You can accomplish a lot in 1 or 2 hours a day if it's intentional and focused and you're only doing income producing stuff. You have to cut the fluff. If it doesn't make you money, you don't do it. You don't design business cards. You don't look up cute marketing strategies. I'm serious. The things that make you money: booking, partying, selling, follow-up, recruiting. If you have a team leadership. Those are the only things that make you money. Set business hours if that works for you. I do not like business hours because I'm like a free spirit. I don't like feeling confined to business hours. But if you find yourself working 24/7 and you're having trouble being disciplined and putting your phone down and turning it off or putting it away or whatever, set business hours for yourself where you are accountable to the business hours, whatever that looks like for you. Just a practical tip I can give you. So in our house, our bedroom is upstairs. We have it on a separate floor. I do not bring my phone into my bedroom. I don't do it. Because if I do it, when I go to bed, I could easily spend 30, 45 minutes scrolling on Facebook doing wasteless, mindful crap. And then when I wake up in the morning, I can roll over, and what's the first thing you do? Pick up your phone, check your notifications, scroll through Facebook. I'm telling you right now, it's a major source of stress and anxiety in your life. Major source of it. My phone gets plugged in on the charger overnight and it stays in the kitchen. Sometimes I don't even turn it over. I also put it face down and it's on vibrate. Okay. I put it face down on vibrate in the kitchen, which is downstairs. We sleep upstairs in our bedroom. I come downstairs, snuggle with Chloe, take my medicine. If I'm feeling like coffee, I'll make a coffee. I'll make my husband breakfast, take her on a walk, do all of these things. And sometimes I don't even flip over my phone until my husband has left for work. That's another way that I can show him that he's number one, right? Or I could leave my phone on my bedside table. It'd be the first thing I look at when I wake up in the morning. And by the time he gets out of bed and wakes up, I'm already stressed out, overcommitted, feeling like I have to do everything. And I don't get to be my best self for him, for our marriage, for our family, for me. I don't get to be the best self for me. Power hour is a really, really good thing because Akila said, I've been doing power hour and realized that I waste a lot of time. Typically, our time is wasted on social media. I know you've heard me say it over and over and over again, but it really is a great problem. You log into Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, what the heck ever, and you spend how many minutes finding a good filter for your face? 15, right? Just getting the lighting just right, setting up a photo. You guys, it's not income producing. Stop doing it. It's important to have your brand on Facebook. It's important to use Facebook to stay connected with people. But don't worry about having a perfect filter. Just be you. Do you know what? I have a YouTube channel, and I put videos like this on it, just our normal videos. And there's no professional editing. I don't have like words on it like people do. I don't have music on it. I don't have like, I literally just upload it like this. You know, I get messages on a weekly basis. People are like, I just want you to know I love your YouTube channel. It's my favorite because you're just so real. Make your Facebook page just so real. Be the real you. Be the real you. Don't spend time trying to find a filter or be like someone else or put together a perfect outfit. I took a shower today, but I didn't wash my hair, so it's in a baseball cap. I didn't do full-on makeup. I just put a little bit of moisturizer on and mascara, and boom, called it a day. And I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it. I don't have to be perfect. Perfection is not real. You'll be chasing it forever. My last tip, and this is kind of different, but the problem is when our business isn't prioritized correct and our spouse is feeling neglected and we have all these other pressures on ourselves, we can look at our business and say, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. I have so much to do. I can't handle it all. And it's because of, it's not because you have a lot to do and not enough time. It's because your priorities are out of whack and you're chasing this perfectionism and you're trying to be like everybody else instead of being your true self and really focusing only on income producing activities, right? And if your spouse is resenting your business, that's just another level of frustration that you add on to your plate that you don't need. And one way to really help with your spouse, loving your business, supporting your business, being into it, and never being bummed if you have to do a party or an event or work or whatever you have to do, is to contribute to your family financially with Scentsy. Don't spend all of your check on Scentsy. Don't spend all of your check on frivolous stuff. Use your Scentsy check to contribute to your family. And I'm telling you guys, it's a world of difference. A world of difference. My husband has the utmost respect for my business now because we're literally able to pay absolutely every bill with my business, with my paycheck, put like 50% of it in savings. We still go out to eat on occasion. We go to the movies. Like, we drive a nice car. We live in a beautiful home. We have rental properties, and we're able to literally save his entire paycheck, the whole thing. So when my husband has the utmost respect for my business. He doesn't resent it. He's never mad about it. And having a spouse, significant other, whatever, in your life who supports your business really brings your level of frustration, your level of need for performance and perfectionism down. It really, really helps you with cutting yourself some slack. You can have someone who's in your corner, someone who you trust and love, and they're in your corner. So listen, you can run a business and have kids or another full-time job because hundreds of thousands and millions of people have done it before you. I had a full-time job when I started my business. I had a full-time job for 2 years. I built my business and quit my job. You can do it. It's about prioritizing, making sacrifices, cutting yourself some slack, realizing what things in your life you need to let go of, deciding, who should get the best version of you. That's God and your spouse and your kids and yourself, by the way. Your customers are going to be fine. Cut yourself some slack. You don't have to be like everyone else. You don't have to do what everybody else does. If it doesn't make you money, don't do it. Please, write that on your hand, on your forehead, on your mirror. If it doesn't make you money, don't do it. So stay off Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, unless it's within your power hour, within your time to work your business, and being intentional and focused. If you like to scroll Facebook, fine. But make it part of your schedule that's not your business. Make that your extra time. Okay? Make that your 30 minutes at night while you're sitting on the couch before you go to bed. If that's what you want to do, fine. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't watch Netflix. I'm not saying don't rest. I'm not saying don't go get your nails done. I'm saying that if you need to work your business and be intentional and focused and don't waste time. We waste time, and that's the source of frustration so often. So you have to evaluate what to do. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope this was encouraging for you. I hope this gives you some insight and helps you kind of move in a good direction. And I'm pretty sure next week, Andrea Keene is going to come here and talk about building a business with kids. She's got kids, young kids, toddlers, and pregnant again. So she had a baby during earning an incentive trip, and she earned it in the top 100 of the company. She earned the trip to Africa while having a baby at the same time. She's insane. She's a beast. So she's also living proof that it can be done. Okay, and her life is now changed. They've been able to, buy a new van for their family, and they're looking at moving into a new home for their family. Like, her life is completely changed, like, because of this business and because of what she's done. And she started from scratch, from nothing. And she's now able to be a full-time stay-at-home mom and doesn't have to have another job outside of Scentsy. And it's really cool. So she's going to come on this page next week and talk about building a business while you have kids. So good guys. I love you guys too. Yeah, absolutely. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you missed any of it, there is some really good stuff in the beginning. I think I talk about coffee and nonsense for the first 6 minutes, so you can just skip that. But there's a couple of really good things after that. So you can do it. You can do it because millions of people have done it before you, and you're no different from anyone else, and they don't have things that you don't have. They don't have skills or access to things that you don't have. You've got every tool you need. And sometimes our tools and our skills, like our tools need sharpening, right? And that's where we have like accountability and training. But you have every tool you need. You're never going to watch a training that's going to blow your mind because you already know what to do. It's booking, partying, selling, follow-up recruiting, team leadership. That's it. That's it. And if it's not one of those things, you don't do it. So I love you guys. I've missed you, and I'm so glad that I'm finally feeling a little bit more like myself again and am able to come live and have nasty decaf coffee and talking. But all right, guys, have a great day. Go rock a business. Proud of you.